welcome back to the Simpleton Review Podcast. Today we are reviewing Switchfoot's Interrobang, which came out earlier this year. It's their newest album. I am joined today by Charlie and Nate Simpleton, and I'm trying to get everything out fast before they interrupt me again.
Take a breath, Lem. Take a breath. Inhale.
You made it!
Helps. All right. Switchfoot Interrobang. Heck yeah.
Anyways, according to Wikipedia, Switchfoot is a Christian rock band. First gained mainstream recognition with the inclusion of 4 of their songs in the 2002 movie A Walk to Remember.
Walk to Remember with Mandy Moore.
Who's Mandy Moore?
Actually, it wasn't that bad of a movie. Mandy Moore was like a pop singer back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, well, I've never heard of her until this moment.
It was one of those really cheesy generic movies where she has cancer or something, and guy like falls in love with her, and she dies, and I don't remember exactly how it goes.
Yeah, that's very generic.
Pretty much.
It sounds like a Hallmark movie.
Either that or what's that guy that writes like The Notebook and stuff? Yeah, right. You knew exactly what I was talking about, Charlie.
Somebody.
Neil I can't remember. Starts with an N, I think. His first name does. I can't remember. Anyway, go on.
Doesn't really matter.
Sparks. It's Sparks. I remember his last name is
Nicholas.
Sparks.
Nicholas Sparks.
Nicholas Sparks. Yes.
Yep, that guy. All right. Anyways, Dad, what did you think of Switchfoot's latest album?
What did I think of Switchfoot's
Okay. Cool.
Switchfoot's new album, Interrobang. Interrobang. Well, let's put it this way. I think, let me just take you down a walk down memory lane.
All right, hold on.
So I used to work at. No, you don't need to mute your microphone or your headphones.
No, I was gonna
I used to work at a Christian bookstore.
Do the harp.
Way back in the day. Charlie Peacock, a very famous Christian musician by the name of Charlie Peacock, had a record label called Rethink Records. And he found this little band out of Southern California named Switchfoot. And they released their first album called Legend of Chin. I thought that album was a very mediocre, rather bland album. I didn't really care for it. Thought it was like, nah, okay. I love it, love it or leave it. It was kind of, eh. Their next album came out. It was called New Way to Be Human. To me, the only song really that was really good on that album was New Way to Be Human. And I got to see Switchfoot live at Creation Fest in Gorge, Washington with Charlie and another friend of ours. And then Charlie decided his foot wasn't going to feel good and we had to come home early. But that's another story for another day. But so I mean, and they were actually, I didn't really think they were that good in concert. I wasn't that impressed. But I got hooked up with like, what was that? Capitol, what was that? Columbia Record House. Remember that old record?
Oh, yeah.
That record deal where you got one free album a month sent to you or something like that. And it was such a monopoly and such a joke, man. They made so much money off of people. Well, I got sent Switchfoot's Learning to Breathe. And I stuck that album in my CD player. And I was blown away. I was like, what the heck is this? Is so good. It was amazing.
It's like they actually grew up.
Oh, yeah, it was so good. Learning to Breathe, and of course, Meant to Live is on that. No, Meant to Live is on a different album, but Learning to Breathe, Dare You to Move is on there, right? And that was like, of course, that song was like, what? This is the most fantastic song ever, right? And then, of course, they put out their best album probably ever, which was The Beautiful Letdown. Just a fantastic album, which they actually put Dare You to Move back on there again. They recorded it, maybe with a little better sonically and put that album on there. But they have been consistently good throughout the years. I mean, nothing really in my mind that matches The Beautiful Letdown. But they've all their albums have been really, really consistent for the most part. But they put out an album, was it last year or the year before? And
Native Tongue?
Native Tongue.
2018.
And I did not like it. I was like, meh. It was back to Legend of Chin days. It was like, meh. I mean, Native Tongue was a pretty interesting song.
That song got played so much, though.
Did it?
Yeah. It was. It was rough.
And Voices was an interesting song, but it just didn't click with me like almost every other Switchfoot album has. But this album, Interrobang, which, look, I'm going to be honest, Switchfoot. I'm going to be honest, John. You listening to me, John? Listen to me closely. Interrobang is one of the dumbest names for an album I think I have ever heard. I don't even know what that means, okay? But now having said that, your album is freaking good. It's really, really good. And I really, really like it. It feels like, to me, you're back to your old form of just thought-provoking, introspective lyrics. Beloved, Lost Cause, The Bones of Us, just fantastic songs with deep introspective lyrics, and that's what I have always appreciated about Switchfoot and will always continue to appreciate about them. I know I'm going on and on, but Christian music has become so bad over about the past 10 years. Absolutely terrible. And I'll tell you why. And people can disagree with me. It's because of the modern worship scene. The modern worship scene has completely destroyed contemporary Christian music. There is hardly anything out there that is not worship music. And it sucks. You have very few bands these days that actually talk about more than, oh, Jesus loves me, happy, everything's so good, I just want to worship you, God. I mean, that's all great and fine, but sometimes I want lyrics that are going to speak to me and speak to the struggles I'm having, speak to the dark places of my soul, speak to the doubts that I have, and there are just a few bands in the Christian market that continue to do that, and Switchfoot is at the top. Switchfoot, Jars of Clay, and I don't know if I can think of anybody else. That's pretty much it. I mean, that's pretty much it, so thank you, John. Thank you, the boys of Switchfoot, for giving me something that I can, that touches my soul. It's not just good music. It touches my soul. I'm done.
That's a lot to be said.
Yeah, that was a lot to say. I'm actually going to ask you what you think, Chuckles, because Dad was mentioning about the word choice and everything, and I know with the Billie Eilish album, that was one of your biggest complaints.
Excuse me?
Billie Eilish, that's what I said. I don't regret.
How she started off
I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I actually liked I'm like really picky on really dumb repetitive lyrics that and John Foreman went back to his better writing. Definitely stepped up on I think my favorite song was Lost Cause, but following right behind it is I Need You, and then in parentheses is To Be Wrong.
To Be Wrong, yeah.
And it's like, and I like how he goes in a couple of songs here with this one, he goes back and forth like between two people, like in how they view their relationship between each other and how they hate where they're at, and even though they want to blame each other, it's like, well, I still like. For the title of that song, I Still Need You.
Yeah.
So I really like that, and I really liked his commentary on 2020 because everybody agrees with it.
Yeah.
What a mess, and it's not getting any better yet. So
Yeah.
So, and I like that we can look at this as Christians and as as the faithful, and still like hope for a better humanity because of it.
Right.
So
yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it was a bit of a breath of fresh air for me, I would have to say. Just listening to a killer album that came out in 2021 and like actually really enjoying the music. I was at work when I was listening to this album, so I didn't write down a ton of notes, but I did kind of rate each song, and I agree with you guys on If I Were You. And then I also really liked Wolves a lot. I think it was probably the most different song on the whole album. It kind of had that weird like hip-hoppy orchestral beat going on, and I really was a huge fan of that.
made me think of Gunger a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
They get some of their orchestral stuff on there.
Yeah, I was a little sad it was short, but I mean, I'm sure if it was too much longer, maybe it would have felt a little too long.
Then you would have hated it being so long.
Yes. But yeah, that's all I got to say about it. So, Chuckles, what's your score?
I'm going to give it a 3.5. Again, it's I think it's a good album. I'm going to be picky about certain things, and some of it's their signature sound, and it's not always grooving my soul, but at the same time, it's like this is a well worth listening to album.
Agreed. Dad, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I can't give it that kind of praise and then give it a really low score, right? So I am going to give it a 4.5 altogether.
Woo!
It is not, of course, it's not in my mind perfection, but it is really close. This is one of the better albums I think we've listened to for this program, especially in 2021. This album will never get the respect or the praise of an album like Justin Bieber or BTS, but it's better in almost every way. It's better than those two albums. And that's not just, in my mind, that's not just the style. Of course, I like this style better than those two, but it's lyrics, it's production, it's just quality all around. I just think it's really good. So.
Yeah, everything's way more thought out too. I feel like with some of these more pop albums that come out, they're a little bit like, let's just throw this on there and let, it's poppy enough, people will like it. But Switchfoot always thinks about
Bieber's got another album out already?
Yeah, actually one of his songs on there,
Justice Part
I don't know
2.
if it's on the album or if it's just a single, but it's kind of a bop. I'm not going to lie.
Kind of a what?
A bop.
A bop?
A bop.
B-U-P or B-O-P?
O-P.
B-O-P, like bop shabop.
Yep.
Who put the bop in the bop shabop? Okay, I'll stop. Yeah, okay. So you're saying it's good.
At least Stay is good. I like that song quite a lot.
All right,
but,
fair enough.
Anyways, I give this album a 4 out of 5. I'm a little biased. I like Switchfoot. I've been listening to them for as long as I can remember because they've been making music for longer than I've been alive. I'd like to make you guys feel old by saying that.
Shut up.
So, but
19. When was it?
1997.
97 was their first one, Legend of Shin, yeah.
Yeah, Legend of Shin.
Yeah.
I bought that one at the Christian bookstore when it first came out.
Look,
I
Charlie
actually
Peacock.
liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it when it came out because it sounded like what was it, Everclear, and like it sounded like the '90s band.
It kind of did,
It was kind of like a cover band.
I'll tell you though,
with Christian lyrics.
much props to Charlie Peacock. The dude knows how to discover talent, right?
Yes.
I mean, come on, Switchfoot, Civil Wars. I mean, come on, he's just Anyway.
Anyways, I think that's all we've got to say. We've kind of gushed over this album enough. We've got a
What are you talking about?
got a 3.5, 4, and 4.5.
That's good enough to be
Simpleton certified.
certified.
And ladies and gentlemen, give them a listen. If you have a local, music store, go buy their albums. If you don't, you live in some small podunk town in Idaho for some reason, then, I'm sure
what does that mean?
You can buy them on iTunes or something.
I live in a small podunk town in Idaho for some reason.
It's not that small anymore, though, I will say.
No, I guess it's not.
But anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Hit that subscribe button. Comment. Tell us whether or not you think we're dumb or smart, or if you've even heard of Switchfoot.
And you can comment and tell us whether or not you think you're dumb too.
Yeah. You can say that too. Yep. Yeah. Hit that like button. Share our videos around, and go to our website, read our reviews, and check out our Patreon.
And if you like how much Lemuel looks like a ghost, or that he has at least some sort of aura around him, let us know that too.
Ooh. I need a green screen.
Right. You do.
Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.